But right now, we're getting more answers from an expert about what parents need to know. And joining us is Dr. Nadine Tensal, Clinical Chief of Pediatrics for the Queen's Health System. Good morning, Doctor. Nice to see you again.
Good morning.
Now, health and safety is top of mind for all parents. So what do you want to tell parents who are asking, is this vaccine safe for my baby or toddler?
Yes, I believe that what we're looking at is approval from the FDA, and the upcoming approval from the CDC tells us that the testing has gone far enough that we can feel confident that parents now have a safe choice. What we've yet to see is how effective it will be, but safety will be a choice that parents will have in the next coming weeks.
And what will the dosage be compared to an older child or teen or even an adult?
The two brands that have been approved are Pfizer and Moderna. Pfizer is going to be putting out 3 doses, and it's 1 dose, then a second dose 3 weeks later, and then the final dose 2 months later, and it's 1/10 of the adult dose. Moderna has 2 doses, and they're 4 weeks apart, and it is 1/4 of the strength of the adult dose.
And why are they different from each other?
They're different having to do with how the infants produce antibodies that will help them fight against COVID, either in part or entirety. And a lot of the preliminary studies showed that when Pfizer only gave 2 doses, it was only about 30% effective. And when they were able to add a 3rd dose, it became 80% effective. Right now, Moderna at 2 doses is really only showing to be about 50 to 52% effective for the 2 doses when the children are given the vaccine.
And what are the potential side effects for young kids and babies?
Right now, and it's part of the reasoning to give such a small dose to the infant, to keep the side effects low while still allowing the child or the infant to produce enough virus-blocking antibodies. So right now, what parents can expect are effects that they would normally see with routine childhood vaccines. A little bit of irritability, maybe crying, maybe a little bit tired for that day, and fever. Some of the early studies have shown that Moderna is more likely to produce a fever than the Pfizer, and that might be related to the fact that the dose given from the Moderna dose is a higher dose than the Pfizer dose.
Okay, very interesting. Good to know. Will kids and babies need a booster in the future?
The question about boosters, both for the toddlers, the children, and even the adults, where we're dealing with variants. And as the variants come out, how high do our antibodies have to be to effectively fight off COVID? And it's an evolving issue. So to answer your question, I think that there's no doubt that we will need boosters. Whether these boosters will cycle like the flu season, that when we essentially are getting our flu booster once a year, very likely. What the interval will be, we've yet to see. Right now, just having parents have the ability to be able to choose and have a tool to immunize their 6-month-old to just before 5-year-old is a big breakthrough. And parents have a choice, and they can take advantage.
And how quickly can parents take advantage? How soon could parents in Hawaii vaccinate their keiki under the age of 5 if the full FDA and if the CDC gives their approval this weekend?
In order to be as transparent as possible, both parents, you, the news, as well as the Department of Health and the community has known a lot about how well the studies have been going and the likelihood that it's being approved. So as a result, orders are already in place, and they are shipping the vaccines to Hawaii as we speak. How long it will take for Queens, for the larger health systems, for private practitioners to have it available, we think in the next couple of weeks.
All right, in the next couple of weeks. Dr. Nadine Tensal with the Queen's Health System, we thank you so much for your time. Always good to hear from you. You always give us such great information.